Well, it's a great night to be shopping. Thank you so much for staying here and spending some time at HSN. You know, I would love to hear from you. I know a lot of you are still shopping on that Fuji camera, but if you are an Acer fan like I am, this to me it's the best of all worlds. We love the idea of these little tablet computers, but, you know, to be fair, you know, they do have their limitations. And if you're going to do certain things, you have to pay more money for the memory. You have to pay more money to download an application so that you can, you know, plug it into your printer. Many of them do not have expandable memory. Many of them do not have open bays, so you can plug in different peripherals. That's why I say this is the best of all worlds, brought to us from one of the #1 computer companies on the planet. But as we were saying, just like our Fuji that is in sellout quantity, Rick, if we could show that quantity left again real quickly, we have fewer than 1,000. So fewer than 1,000, we are saying last call on the black. Do you know you are getting well over $300 worth of software? In fact, the software pretty much pays for the entire purchase. But he is back. Gateway Joe.
Hey, Shannon.
I'm keeping you up late tonight.
I know. I should be in bed.
You should be in bed.
I put the kids in bed, and I came in here to spend time with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that as always.
I love technology like this.
Yeah. You know, this is pretty cool. And, you know, I guess we should start from square one. Of course, Joe Harrison is, of course, our computer expert here at HSN. And when we talk about brand name quality, not only is it an Acer, but it also has a really powerful processor. And that's the problem with a lot of these little netbook, notebook gizmos. People get them at home. They love the convenience. But then when they see the performance, they get fed up. This is not what we're talking about with this.
You're exactly right. There's so many people who bought a netbook in the past, and you think, I'm never buying a netbook again. But this is not a netbook of the past. There are single-core processors that are out there that are inside a lot of netbooks, a lot of smaller screens, even inside of full-size laptops that don't have the power this guy has. This is the most powerful processor we've ever offered in an 11-inch screen. This is a dual-core processor from AMD. Not some from a company you've never heard from, but from AMD. These guys design processors to handle the most difficult applications like games and movie editing, and that's what's inside your computer. But for the past couple years now, 2-3 years, we've offered netbooks that had a single-core processor. Single-core meaning single brain, single engine. Well, this is dual-core. Dual-core meaning 2 cores, 2 brains, 2 engines. We're up to 70% more power, more speed, more efficiency. This has the same processor that a lot of times you'll find in a 15 and a 17-inch laptop. The things that you perceive as being more powerful, that's the same technology going inside this guy. Then you also have to look at the RAM that's built into the computer. This has 2 gigabytes worth of RAM, twice as much memory as what Microsoft even recommends. So not only are you covered for today's applications, but years down the road, you're still going to be using this great netbook. And the third thing is your hard drive. This is your filing cabinet where you're going to store all of your information that can now handle up to 80,000 of your favorite songs, over 300 hours worth of video, over 100,000 photos on this huge 320 gig hard drive. Now these specs, Shannon, I mean these are specs you'd normally find in like a 15 or 17-inch laptop.
Yes.
Well, 17-inch laptops are great, but you know what? They weigh 13, 14 pounds. This thing only weighs 3.2 pounds, has the same amount of power, but get this, has a 7-hour battery.
Whoa.
So, Shannon, this is the lightest, this is the longest lasting regarding battery, and also the most powerful netbook we've ever brought here at HSN.
Well, and here's the thing. For a lot of us, this is the best of all worlds. I mean, for me, that's the way it is, because I've got one of those little touchpad things, and, you know, it's great, it's fun, but the reality is I can't plug it into my printer. You know, it does have its certain limitations.
Try typing on it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other thing, because, you know, I'd like to do a lot of emails, and doing that virtual keyboard thing just does not work for me, because I've got big hands, you know, and long fingernails. That's why I say this is the best of all worlds. Gives you that multimedia experience, but gives it to you at a portable, small platform. But don't let that price and affordability fool you. This is easily, hands down, one of the best processors that we've ever put in any mobile device to offer to you here at HSN. Not only that, look at that Flexpay. $100 to get this at home. I mean, that is insane. If you have somebody going back to school, if you have somebody, you know, going off to college, starting elementary or junior high, if you're like a lot of us out there, and maybe you've got that big laptop or maybe you've got that desktop, this is the one that you'll find yourself traveling with. It's the one that you'll find yourself moving from room to room. And doggone it, you're going to have more fun with it because it makes it mobile and it makes it portable. And Joe, that's why people love those little pads, is because you can take them everywhere.
Absolutely.
But like we were saying, you know, everything has its place, but, you know, there are certain limitations. Like you said, try typing. This is like a full keyboard, basically.
This is actually, Shannon, the first time we've ever offered this. Now, the keyboard, a lot of times people think big deal, it's a keyboard.
Yeah.
But a lot of netbooks, they average about 60%. The keys are 60% of the size of a traditional laptop or desktop. So what happens is, get your fingers, just try to type on it, and you just can't do it. They're too small. This is 100%. The keys are 100% the same size as a full-size laptop or a full-size desktop. So even the keyboard has been upgraded for you. Now, everything you're going to see on here has been upgraded. The processor is upgraded. The RAM is upgraded. The hard drive is upgraded. And the last time we offered an 11-inch screen, it was $499. So the price has gone down. But the things that have improved, again, the monitor. This is new technology. This is high definition. And when you look at high def, this is 720p resolution. It's in a widescreen format. So if you're watching the movies, it's just like the director meant them to be. It also uses a new technology called ultra bright, which makes it seem as if you're looking right through glass. But a lot of people don't realize not only is high definition just great for movies, but it's also phenomenal for photos. You see 4 times the resolution, 4 times the detail just for your pictures. So it's much better experience than just video. Now it's your photos too. And the other great thing about it is, if you've ever stared at a monitor, after half hour, 45 minutes, you get that eye fatigue. Yeah. It's because you're looking at a poor quality monitor, basically an analog monitor like VCR quality. Now, this is high definition. This is as good as it gets. If you want to spend more money on a computer, you could. You get the same monitor. That's the great thing about this. So you're getting that not only better resolution, but better overall experience, because now you don't have that eye strain, eye fatigue that's now going to be a thing of the past.
I always know it's a good deal when Joe's voice changes.
Oh, does it? Yeah, that's right. You know, today's a good deal.
It's true. When his voice gets higher, when it gets faster.
Well, Shannon, you know,
I know it's a good deal.
Well, we tried offering more of these, but, you know, unfortunately, we only had...
But it is true. I mean, because you tell everybody, this is like a limited, kind of like a last chance, right?
Well, they put all the components together, because you'll find netbooks that are out there, and I'd probably just, you know, roughly guessing here, you probably will find 90% of the processors in netbooks are the single core. They have a single core, single brain, single engine. And you've had those. You've seen those in the past. It's slow on the internet. It's slow typing a letter. It's slow turning on. Nobody wants it. But now you finally have dual core built into them. But that 10% that has dual core, it's $400, $500, $600 and up. We're giving you dual core at the lowest price we've ever offered. And I want to show you what this means to you, because a lot of times people see lightweight, they see thin, they think this is not very powerful at all. On my computer right now, I've got the same computer that we're going to plug in and show you here.
Oh, wow.
But on this, I've got the same type of specs that you normally would find in a 15 or a 17-inch laptop. So, Shannon, here I am. I'm playing a video game down the bottom. I've got Microsoft Excel up and running, because you are getting Word and Excel 2010 starter.
Oh, you're kidding.
Those come with it too, Shannon.
Excel with this too?
Yeah, we're saving you another $200 there. There's my photos from the media center. Here I'm surfing on hsn.com on the fastest wireless connection in the world. I can go full screen on my video game, and it seems like you're watching a movie, but this is computer-generated graphics right here, and there's zero hesitation, zero lag to it, but I'm actually doing about a dozen things in the background on a netbook. I mean, I couldn't have done this in the past, Shannon.
No, you're right.
But because of the processor, the RAM, the hard drive, these are key components, Shannon, just to give you an amazing experience with the brand new Acer.
And that's why it's so great to have Joe here, because it's not just the price. And you can see, for less than $100, these obviously are flying. We now have fewer than 900, and like Joe said, those are final quantities. That's it. This will not be coming back. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I'll wait till back to school, it's back to school now. And I should point out, that Flexpay, open to you. Anyone who's shopping tonight at HSN, we take 8 major credit cards. Do you realize that means we hold the balance? So for $99, first payment, of course, always includes your shipping, handling, and your tax. But for less than $100, you are getting one of the #1 computer brand names in the world. In fact, Acer, for all intents and purposes, they're neck and neck with #1. Of course, you could probably, you know, figure out who we're alluding to. Great company, but Acer does things for us that they don't do for anyone else. And like Joe was saying, those details matter. And that's why, for a lot of us, we love the idea of these little netbooks, but many of us got fed up, like Joe said, because it had a single core processor. It didn't have the amount of memory to back it up. It didn't have the kind of processor speed. It didn't have the ability to do what this is going to do. So remember, it's on a first-come, first-served basis. We have the last 880 of them. Definitely think back to school. If there's somebody who's going off to school, or maybe you're just telecommuting, if you're looking for this, to help you run a business, absolutely perfect. I like the idea that it's going to go from room to room to room with you, and that's what multimedia is all about. So you can have it next to your 46-inch television in your living room. You can take it, and that's just it, Joe. You put upgrades even in the ports and things that you just don't find in those little tablet computers.
You're exactly right. This has all the connectivity that a traditional laptop would have. First off, you have 2 USB ports that are right there, headphone jack and a microphone jack available. There's also a memory card reader right there, but notice my finger is actually thicker than the laptop itself. I mean, the thinnest, lightest 11.6-inch laptop we've ever offered. And then you also have an Ethernet port, so you're ready for high-speed internet. There's a VGA connection to hook it up to your favorite monitor or projector. There's another USB port, so that's 3 USB ports. And there's that extra port Shannon was talking about. HDMI output. We couldn't put this on our older netbooks because the processor couldn't handle it.
True.
This is one of the first times we've ever offered it on a netbook because, and Shannon, this port alone, you want to add this to your laptop?
How much?
$150.
Okay, so
add
wait
that
a
one
minute.
port right there.
You know what? Because here's the thing, and I'm going to have Joe help me do the math here, and not to disparage retail, but the truth is retail doesn't do what we're doing, okay? The reality is they really do nickel and dime you to death.
Absolutely.
Because, I shop elsewhere just like I know you do. First and foremost, try to find a brand name. That's number one of the top 2 laptop manufacturers in the world. In fact, Acer is really famous for these netbooks. You guys really put these on the map. I mean, they are the pioneers. Nobody makes a netbook better than Acer. They just don't. And that's one of the reasons they can do an award-winning, a dual-core processor. But software, again, how much? $300?
$316 worth of software.
$316.
Not including the Microsoft Office, the Word, and Excel. It's even coming with it.
So then Microsoft Office, so that's like a $200 value.
$100 for each software title. They never expire.
Never. So that's like $500 right there.
Right there,
a little over $500. HDMI port. That's
another 150 port.
Another 150.
Just for that one single port right there.
Okay, so you're like over $670
right there.
just
a couple
in
things.
the extras. And you're spending $99 on your credit card. The reality is, I wish I had the whole hour with Joe. We don't. This is kind of our little lead-in, our little preempt, if you will, for our help event. And Joe was kind enough to come in. In fact, this was not originally scheduled, so I do appreciate you coming in. And Joe's like, no.
I love technology. This is fun stuff for me. Well, it's, you talk about getting a deal. I mean, this is truly something that, in the netbooks in the past, I get a demo and I get to play with everything.
You do.
And in the past, you've seen netbooks where you try to log online, try to check your email. And those are the key things people are looking to do. But those older netbooks, they couldn't even just handle the internet. It gets sluggish. You start to get frustrated because it just takes a long time. But here with that dual-core processor built into it, this is technology that you normally would find in a 15 or 17-inch laptop. But again, those 15-inch laptops, they weigh 9 to 10 pounds. This weighs 3 pounds. So this is something that you truly are going to carry. And it makes a difference because imagine if you had one core, one brain, one engine. Those are single-core processors that have been around in the past, but can only do a single thing at a time. Yeah. Well, tonight we double it with 2 cores, 2 brains, 2 engines. This is the most powerful netbook that we've ever offered here at HSN. You're getting 70% more power, more speed, more efficiency out of that dual-core processor than you would with a single. But then everything else is still upgraded because we have that 2 gigabytes worth of RAM. That's more than what you'll find out there in the marketplace. They have a huge 320 gig hard drive. The last time we offered this size, it was only 120 gigs of storage. So it's almost 3 times the amount of storage space, Shannon.
You're right. These, if I didn't know better, well, in fact, the truth is, I just thought it was a laptop because I didn't actually physically see
the screen size. That's right.
So when I was reading the specs before the show, I thought, oh, it's a lap. It's which would weigh 7 or 8 pounds.
Right.
I mean, when you're talking 3, this is so lightweight. I don't even feel it. I really don't. I mean, it's a lot lighter than my purse, and ladies, it's lighter than my shoes. So it's the kind of thing that you are going to take from room to room, and you're going to have more fun using it. If you're like most computer families out there, most of us have more than one computer. Maybe you've got that big, that souped-up computer that lives, in the home office, or maybe even the one that, you do the Mac Daddy stuff on. What you don't have is something like this that gives you the freedom, gives you the portability, gives you the versatility, but yet still gives you the sophistication and the power. And that is something that we ordinarily do not see in this price range.
You're exactly right, especially when you look at this video right here.
Gorgeous.
I wanted to show a 720p high-definition video. I couldn't even run something like a video on the older netbooks because you've run videos sometimes on your computer. It's choppy. It starts freezing. It's like you're watching every third second.
You're right.
Look how smooth that is.
I know.
That is only possible because of the processor, because of the RAM. You know, I don't want to tell you. I keep telling you about the processor, but the processor is what makes this thing amazing. You're exactly right.
And it matters. It
does
matter. And that's why people, when they first started doing, you know, these netbooks and other manufacturers were using, you know, little no-name, you know.
There are a lot of no-name processors out there.
No-name, and, you know, and those are the things that matter. But we are going to head back to the phones, this time to New York. Tina, welcome to HSN. It's Joe and Shannon. How are you?
Fine, yourself?
We are good, Tina. So we hear you're getting yourself a little mini laptop tonight. Good for you.
Yes, I'm getting it for my son.
Oh, nice. So what's going on, Tina? Is he in school, or why did you think this would be a good one for him tonight?
Okay, because I've been looking at those tablet things and stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're a little limited. So I wanted to get him something I figured that he could use to write his papers because he's starting junior high school.
Oh, Tina, you are so smart. I mean, and Tina, you're right. I mean, we love the idea of those tablets, but doggone it, you can't plug them into a TV. Most of them are not upgradable. They don't have keyboards. And what did you think of the price? Did you take advantage of Flexpay tonight?
Of course I did.
I like how you think, Miss Tina. Well,
the price is good because all those other tablets are like more, and then you have to buy the extra dock pad, and you got to buy the keypad. You got to buy all this extra stuff.
You're absolutely right. Well, Tina, you made an excellent buy. Thank you so much for stopping by HSN, and wish your son well in school for us, okay?
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, Tina. Bye-bye. But remember, you see that quantity left, and guys, these are flying. As I mentioned, normally we would have a longer presentation with Joe, but we got a lot to get to in this hour before we clear the way for our help. Big movie event with Miss Amy at midnight. But I absolutely, I so recommend it, because not only are you spending less than $100, I mean, HSN, we think of you with your budget, and for less than $100, this really does fit in, you know, into your budget, into those monthly payments. But Joe, I want to talk about what Tina said, because she said originally she was going to get her son one of those tablets, and like she said, good grief, you got to buy the keyboard separately. Like, what are the things that I'd have to buy separately if I was doing a typical tablet?
Well, most of the keyboards, you know, / docking stations that are out there, $100 right off the bat, just for, you know, having the keyboard to connect to it. And then you talk about, you know, there are a lot of times they don't have the ports that the laptop would have. So you start adding and piecemealing everything. You usually spend a couple $100 just on accessories. But the other advantage to this is, you know, Tina's talking about giving this for her son who's going into high school. For 4 years, you want a computer that's going to last. This is dual-core technology. This is at 2 gigs worth of RAM. This is 320. This will meet all the recommended specs for today's software, but also software down the road. It's not like a computer, and it's not like a netbook that you replace every year, especially when you look at the software built into it. This is Windows 7 Home Premium. This isn't the Starter Edition, which is a lot of times what you get here. It's very limited operating system. This is that full-blown premium version, which gives you the extra security features, which gives you the media center, which gives you all these extra benefits to it to make it a much better experience. And don't forget, you're buying an Acer, who's one of the top companies for laptops in the entire world. You get that Acer warranty. And then nowadays, there are more computers that are sold that have a 90-day warranty.
True.
That's a new standard. This is a 1-year warranty, 24 hours a day, with 7 days a week. Call us on the weekend. Call us at 2 a.m. Call us whenever you want. Those guys are there to help you out. And even I just want to show you real quick the colors that we have available, the black and the blue. It's a new ripple design that we have. It's actually, you can feel it's actually, you know, textured pattern, but it's like they dropped a penny in the lake and put it right there on the netbook. It is really cool. But if you get a scratch in the blue, no problem. Just see more of the blue. Same thing with the black, but these are exclusive configuration that you'll only find right here at HSN.
And only, well, as long as supplies last. You see that quantity left counter flying. Believe me, I wish I had the rest of the hour with Joe. I don't get to keep him out past his bedtime very often, so it's nice to have him here tonight. But those are the final quantities. So last 750, good luck to you. If you want that black, Rick, how many of the black now remain in the Acer? We have the last 200 of the black, and you can do the math. That means we have a little over 500 of the blue. So it is your choice. But like Tina said in New York, for those of us out, if you've been dying to get your hands on one of those tablets, I mean, you have to remember, not only do they nickel and dime you, you've got to buy the keyboard separately. You've got to download applications in order to plug it into your printer. If that model even, connects to a printer, a lot of them don't have webcams built in. Most of them do not come with, over $300 worth of software. And like Joe said, normally it's a 90-day warranty. And then you have to pay for the whole, caboodle, the whole shooting match at once. And usually the prices on those little tablet computers start at $600 and up. So to get something that you can grow into, that you can grow with, that you can expand, but yet you can have the portability and that ultra-modern, sophisticated versatility. It's something that absolutely will pay for itself over and over again. But remember, it is only for this show or as long as supplies last. Do you know if you have any more scheduled airings on this? Because I know this was like in fact, it wasn't originally
We don't have anything else scheduled for it right now, but maybe because of popular demand, we might be able to bring it back. But we just have a limited quantity, so once they're gone, they will be gone forever.
So basically, there are 700 of you, or if you are within the sound of our voice, we've got one for you, and I would not wait. Oh, and one other thing I need to mention, 30-day money-back guarantee. So this will not be on the docket for back to school. This is your back-to-school netbook right now for less than $100 on your credit card. And remember, you've got a full month to try it as you buy it. So get it at home. Let the kids load some of their videos or load some of their games or move it from room to room. You will not believe the freedom and the portability. And, the truth is, I do have one of those little pad things at home. I don't use it. I prefer this. This is actually what I use because I need that keyboard. It's that keyboard that,
Well, you think it's just a keyboard, but it's so much easier to type, so much more convenient, and it's got the power of those big 15, 17-inch laptops, but not the weight. The lightest and most powerful netbook we've ever offered.
Absolutely. Joe, great to see you tonight.
Great to see you
Thank you, my friend.
Very beautiful.
Thank you, all glamified tonight. See, I clean up pretty good.
You do.
Thanks, Joe. And don't forget the Fuji camera. Rick, we're looking at